Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15 of POH Bother, my chunk-locked Ultimate Iron Man. And assuming this goes up on December 24th like I planned, Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy Holidays. I'm currently recording this in November just to show how far ahead these clips are, so yeah, hopefully I can stick to that editing schedule, and if not, I'll be cutting this bit out. But in the last episode, I set up some gear goals I want to work on over the coming episodes, and I made some progress towards Hunter for Glory, but I did manage to get my fletching up and get myself a magic short bow, and between episodes, I imbued it, and I came here to Turas because I want to work on, well, one, putting this new bow and arrows to use, and two, getting another upgrade. And it took me a good bit, but there it is, the leaf-bladed sword. So this isn't that big of an upgrade. It's actually going to be comparable DPS to my dragon spear in here. But it is nice because now I can use it with the obsidian shield. It is a good upgrade over the dragon longsword at least. And it also now means I can train, attack and defense and strength independently instead of having to use controlled. Also, I will be keeping the D-Spear around until I can make the stash unit, or at least that's my plan. We'll see how it pans out. But for now, well, I have a lot of seeds I need to start farming. But aside from that and mixing up a lot of potions at some point, I actually think I want to go AFK because I really need to spend some time AFKing. So I think I'm going to take this new leaf-bladed sword, make myself a strength Amy, and try and use up these strength and attack potions at sand crabs. So I spent a little longer AFKing than I was expecting, but I did manage to use up all the strength potions and most of the attack potions. I realized I didn't say why I wanted to use these up, and it's because I just don't see a reason to hold them anymore. It's just wasting bag space, so I'll probably just drop the remaining attack potions. But if you look at my looting bag, I have a lot of herbs and seeds and potions now. Well, not that much potion, but I can now make super attack potions, which will be another bag slot, and I'm not that far off being able to make super strength. So with super potions that I want to use for boss, these combat potions will now be either something I'll try and use up like the strength potions, or just, for casual stuff like low-level monsters kind of thing, because they're not going to be that special anymore. But yeah, so I wanted to try and use up the potions and free up some bag space, and in the process, I got a lot of levels. So yeah, I not only got 80 attack and defense, but I started putting the leaf-bladed sword here on strength. And I not only hit over 100 combat, but 90 strength, which is a total of 3 chunk unlocks now. So yeah, a lot higher level than I was expecting to get from this AFK grind at the start of the episode. But it should be very nice, because now I can hit like 25s of the leaf-bladed sword when I'm potted, which should be pretty good for doing future bossing and other stuff like even Slayer if I melee it. So let's load up the chunk picker and see what the first chunk is, which is... I do unlock this chunk. I don't think I can get over here. I think there is some stuff up here, so once I unlock 3, it'll be unlockable. Or if I unlock 4, I guess I might be able to corner over. But not terrible. I'm at least working in this area. I think I do have access to swamp crabs now, if I ever did want to AFK range there, though I don't know how much more AFK training I'll be doing in general. So not the best chunk, but another one down and at least filling up more of this area. So that was for, I think I did 80 attack first, so that was 80 attack. Now for 80 defense, I get... Ooh, that's really big. So I've been waiting to do not Monkey Madness, the Grand Tree forever. This was the last chunk I needed, so now I can do the Grand Tree, which means I can do the Eyes of Gluffrey, however you say that one. Yeah, I think it's Gluffrey. Which means I can get the Crystal Saw, which is going to be huge for construction training. It also means, because I can now do the Grand Tree, I can start Monkey Madness, so that means Crash Island is now rollable. So that's a pretty big chunk. I can't wait to do that quest in a bit, and finally be able to use the spirit trees and gliders, or spirit tree from the Grand Tree. And the final chunk for 90 strength is... Oh, Camelot. That's another really big one. Well, not that big. I mean, I unlocked the farming patch. Unfortunately, Merlin's Crystal, the main quest here, requires South Rock, which I still don't have, but I can finally use Camelot Teleport. You don't know how annoying it is to have to walk all the way from Artie anytime I want to do something up here. Like, I was going to the Slayer Cave every time I was doing tour-offs. I had to go from Artie all the way up. Now I can use the Camelot portal in my house, and also the farming patch here. And there might be some other quests I can do here that I'm not thinking of right now. I can't do Garden of Tranquility yet. Harley Grail requires Merlin's Crystal, so I don't know. It's at least a step closer to those quests, and means when I unlock South Rock, I have even more things to do now. So yeah, but I think that's going to conclude things for now. As for what I'm going to do next, there's a lot of questing I have to do, so I'm probably going to start with that. So after reviewing the chunks, I realized there's one thing I forgot that Camelot unlocks. So if we head over here, I finally can use this chunk, and I finally can talk to Wedge, and claim this reward I've had for ages. So I had the diary completed, but because I couldn't talk to the NPC, I couldn't make it turn green and fully complete it. So here is the Kinder and Easy diary, which is another chunk task, and it's actually a little notable because this acts as a light source. So anytime I go in a cave or Tears of Gothics, I can use this instead of getting the candle spawn from rock. Well, though I could also just walk over to the candle spawn or the candle shop here now. And I don't know, there's a few other things of note. It does allow me to exchange noted flax for noted bowstrings, which might be useful, but I don't know how to get noted flax easily aside from something like Zora, but maybe in the future getting noted bowstrings could be something kind of decent. And I can put this experience on Herblore, which is a nice bit of Herblore experience, but more importantly, I get another chunk unlocked. Now, it'd be really awesome if I went right into South Rock now. Well, can't all be winners. I'm pretty sure I have to go this way around. I can't go that way or already would have been unlockable, but more of the Isle of Souls. There is probably some decent stuff here, but nothing I'm planning to use anytime soon. But yeah, now on to those quests. I completed the Grand Tree, and now here is the Eyes of Glorifier completed as well, which is also another milestone. So I haven't got to do a bunch of quests for a while, but now I have over 125 quest points, which means I get one of those selection chunk unlocks. And also let me just I probably shouldn't even bother with this anymore, but I still like to try and use it. And yeah, this is also really notable because, as I said, I can use the Spirit Tree in the Grand Tree now, as well as the Gnome Gliders, at least the ones I have access to, and I can get the Crystal Saw. Also, I did the smart idea of trying to hunt Essence Implings for my Mud Runes instead of, you know, just making Mud Runes, but in the process, I managed to get a couple Clue Caskets. So the Easy Casket is nothing notable, and the Medium Casket is also nothing notable. Well, not much of a surprise there. At least some more Law Runes. And, yeah, but so I have 3 chunk rows. So the first one for the Grand Tree is... I'm gonna assume I can go up here. I really don't want to test right now if I could walk this little bit of path. But if you check here, there is technically bats here and hollow trees. So it technically does have content, even though it's a dead chunk. But, yeah. Yeah, I'd walk up from this way. At first I was confused, like, wait, I can't get here from here. But yeah, so walking up. So a little more in the sleep region. So that's for the Grand Tree. For the Eyes of Glorifier, I get... Oh, well, I finally... Oh, wait, this is the Desert Lizard one, right? So I still can't do Desert Lizards, but it does mean I can go all the way over here. All these chunks are now rollable. Because I can now walk up to here for this corner, which I... Actually, would this... Now, this one wouldn't be unlockable yet. This is on this side, because this wouldn't connect me to this chunk. There's no way for me to get up here without already having this one for that one. Anyway, so, yeah. And now I get, or for the 125 quest points, I get... Oops, clicked the wrong way. For the 125 quest points, I get a selection chunk unlock, which means I get to roll 2 and pick one. And my choices are... Weston Trana and... I don't think there's much here. I know there's a clue step. It would let me do getting ahead. Because, yeah, this is the last chunk I need for getting ahead. The only thing I'm questioning, because I know Weston Tron is one I've been wanting for a while, but I actually don't know how much it unlocks. I mean, it says for Monkey Madness 2, it's mainly I need it for Enlightened Journey. Enlightened Journey would unlock some new transports, so I guess I should just go with Weston Trana. Just because it's a little safer, and either way I'd get to do another quest, regardless which one I picked. So yeah, now the map looks a lot better without that chunk in the middle. If only I could unlock this one over here. I don't know, maybe next time. But yeah, that concludes the quest for the time being. Well, I still have several more to go do, you know, all the Karamja ones from last episode. But, I don't know, I might, look into doing something else right now. Just kidding, I decided to do Enlightened Journey. Yeah, it's a bit annoying to have the death pile, but there's Enlightened Journey completed. It does mean I now have access to the balloons. I'll have to look into unlocking the other routes and filling this up at a later time, because I don't really want to do it now, and my items are still on the ground. But for that quest completed, I get another chunk roll, and I get... Wilderness chunk. I think this does mean I now can get to the KBD. I don't know if I'm missing any of the other obelisks. There probably is some things here like for the diaries, but nothing I plan to go out and do out there right now. So yeah, well, let me go get my stuff back, and I probably will actually go on and work on those Karamja quests soon. So I completed Jungle Potion, and now here is Zogre Flesh Eaters. So yeah, that's another 2 quests down, and I also did go ahead and train Herblore, so now here's 52 Herblore. So yeah, I have a chunk unlocked for 50 Herblore for Jungle Potion and Zogre Flesh Eaters, and also I did get a medium casket while doing stuff, and let's see, do I get... Saradomin page, not that notable. Probably gonna drop it unless I can immediately get Horror from the Deep to put it in the book. And yeah, but if you look in the bag here, though, I used up all the herbs except the Quarms, which I'm still a few levels off from, and I have a decent amount of super attack potions now. So yeah, I need to restock herbs and work on Herblore some more, or at least later on. But for now, yeah, some chunks to roll. So the first chunk I get for 50 Herblore is... Ooh, that's a nice one. So, because of how I count things, that means I unlock the Temperos chunk up here for free, because it's not a chunk you can walk around normally, it's only part of the minigame or the activity. In this case, it's skilling balls, but it functions very similar to a minigame. So I can start grinding that if I want. That said, I really don't see much of a need to do Temperos, because I already have a high fishing level, and it doesn't really give any rewards I care about. Like, there's nothing you can store. You could upgrade to Spirit Angler, but I don't really think that's something I'm going to go for, just because it's just the cosmetic upgrade and doesn't really do anything outside the minigame, or the skilling boss. So yeah, but for the next chunk for Jungle Potion, I get... Oh, this is actually a pretty good one. It's Alice's Farm. I know it's needed for a bunch of quests. I still think I need over here, and of course Dragon Tooth Isle, but it is needed for Garden Tranquility, and also getting closer to Animal Magnetism as well, so... no, definitely a nice chunk to get, even if it doesn't unlock too much. I also do have the farming patch here now. I guess that's notable if I did want to farm a bunch of herbs. And the final chunk for Zogre Flesh Eaters is... Ooh. I actually think I can't do anything more here. Like, I technically could walk in these areas if I unlocked it. But I can get into the Theater of Blood from this path here. But I can't go out this way until I unlock this region. So I think that's the last bit I'll be able to access. And I don't think I can even do these quests. Or I know I can't do Taste of Hope. I think a Night of Theater needs a Taste of Hope. So yeah, but not much I can do there. But technically I could attempt the Theater of Blood. I do not think I'm ready for the Theater of Blood. But I could attempt it now. But I still have a couple other quests I can work on. And here is Rum Deal completed. So now I have another 2 chunk unlocks, because I also went ahead and did a Taibawana Trio. But while trying to get a Toad Flax for this quest to make the Agility Potion, I was doing a lot of thieving and farming trying to get the seed. And while doing that, I realized I can do enough of Merlin's Crystal to get Excalibur, which is notable because this is one of the first decent spec weapons I have, or at least one that, or the first decent defense boost at least, because a +8 defense boost will probably come in handy for some of the things I have planned in the future. But not anything I'll be getting to right now. So yeah, but if we head over here to the chunk picker, so the first chunk for Taibawana Trio is... Ooh, the next chunk down here, so I can now use the glider to get to this side of Karamja. I think there might be a clue step here. Oh, it's a master one. Never mind. It would be nice if I get this one, because this is needed for Shiloh Village. So, actually, I could, in theory, do the quest, because you start it down here, and there's a shortcut to get over. So if I get this chunk, I can do Shallow Village. I just wouldn't have Shallow Village unlocked, which honestly would be kind of funny, so I kind of hope that happens. But yeah. So now for Rum Deal, I get, okay, the other corner of the wilderness, and this was actually the Venenatus chunk. So if I ever want to go kill that boss, I have access to the chunk, though it should be changing pretty soon. But there is one other quest I can do. So Grimtails is in this chunk. And I have all the chunks I need for it. Where is it in here? And when I completed Zogre Flesh Eaters, I got the Herblore level needed to do the quest without having to boost. So I might try that. But there are some other things I want to start working on. So it might be better to take a break from these quests and try those. Okay, so I just pulled Ranger Boots. So to explain what's going on here, I came to Mage Training Arena to use up my Cosmic Runes, and I wanted to go do the Alchemist Playground a bit to try and get to 80 magic before updating you on everything I've been doing, but it wouldn't let me bring this casket that I got from some random thing while doing all these tasks, so I decided, I'll just open it. Of course, this was Ranger Boots. Of all the things it could have been, it had to be Ranger Boots. So yeah, now it's going to let me in here so I can finish off this magic level. I think I have enough runes, hopefully. I don't know, we'll find out. Might have to go buy more runes, but yeah, this is a pretty nice upgrade. Actually, can I take the stuff off real quick just to show the stat difference? Yeah, I think I should be able to. So yeah, it's not that huge of an upgrade over these, the Blessed DI boots. It's actually one less prayer, so it could even be a disadvantage in certain scenarios where I really could value the prayer or the extra little bit of defense, but it is still my best in slot storable boot, and it is also another chunk unlock. So yeah, I'll be holding off to roll those chunks in a bit though. Well, that was certainly an unexpected but welcomed interruption from the things I've been working on. And just to mention a little more, I am really happy to have gotten Ranger Boots. It is a very big unlock for the account. I know I probably didn't sound as excited as I should have been. It just came at a time where I just really wasn't expecting it, and it also wasn't my raw reaction because I had to pull up the recorder and, you know, get ready to record, so I had a bit of time to process it. So yeah, that's why I wasn't like, oh my god, it's Ranger Boots, as much as I probably normally would have been. But yeah, still really cool unlock. Really glad to have it, and that's one of the 3 chunk unlocks I have here. The other are 80 woodcutting and 80 magic. But the thing I have been working on is my player-owned house, and as you probably can guess by the fact I'm in Rimmington, I finally moved back to Rimmington. I know, I do like Hosidius, but I feel like Rimmington, 1, is just more classic for this account because it's where I started, and 2, it's just a really nice location. There's an NPC to Unknown outside, it's close to Port Sarim, close to Faldor Farming Patch, close to the boats to Artie and Brimhaven. But yeah, so here's my new player-owned house. I did change to the Fancy Stone for the diaries just to get those tasks out of the way. I might change it to something else in the future, but for now I decide, I like Fancy Stone enough, I'll leave it like that. And yeah, so the main thing I upgraded though is I have portals now. I have Battlefront, Arceus Library, Karen, then I have Camelot, Yenil, and Artie, Falador, Lumbridge, and Varrock. Now I have Lumbridge again, because it always was annoying, especially now that I'm using dust runes. Anytime I want to teleport to Lumbridge, I had the runes on me. It just would cost more dust runes to teleport to it, which is something I don't want to expend. Also did build the Pool of Restoration, which restores special attack. Not that useful right now, but still something I got. And in the final portal room over here, I have Salve Graveyard, Frankenstein's Castle, and the final portal, which I'll be attuning now. So if I drink this Wizard's Mind Bomb, and scroll down here, there we go, a Barrows portal. So the reason I was going for 80 magic to do this, 1, Barrows is a pretty cool portal location to have, but the big reason is I currently can't get to Barrows because I have to go through all these chunks first. Like I have to unlock this one, then this one, this one. Because I have a portal in my player-owned house, as per my rule, this is now a rollable chunk, which means I have a chance of now rolling directly to get to Barrows and then unlocking Morton over this way, which would be pretty cool. I mean, the one thing that's a little disappointing, I really do want to get South Rock. There's so much content locked behind this. So going from 48 possible chunks to 49 does decrease my odds of getting South Rock, or even over here the Lighthouse Bridge. That's another one I really do want to get, just so I can start putting the pages away and not have or waste the space for in my looting bag. But as nice as it is to have Void, it would be nice to start working towards Barrows Armor. I can store a set of it later, and just getting more of this region in general would be nice. Also, as a side note, you actually only need this chunk for In Search of the Marique, however you pronounce it, or this chunk and that one. You don't actually need this one. So yeah, that is another interesting little tidbit. So yeah, but I think there's a few other things I need to mention real quick. One thing I did change a while back in my goals, I did get rid of the Servant, as you might have noticed, because it just does nothing on Ultimate Iron Man. I thought it might do some things, but nope, just like nothing at all. Also have a study here with just the basic lecture, and I'll be upgrading it more later. I now can at least check my stash units though, so that's something kind of cool. And the other thing, so I ran out of teak planks, but I realized now that I did a jungle potion, I'm able to access the hardwood grove to actually cut teak and mahogany trees. So I finally have teak and mahogany trees so I can make my own planks. But while while working on that and getting trading sticks for that, I realized, oh, I also can now get snake skin so I can finally fill up some of those stash units, because I could get snakeskin boots off ninja implings, but I couldn't get the snakeskin chaps for one of the medium stash units until now. So I finally was able to get snakeskin, and then while I was there, I was like, well, might as well just knock out the diary tasks, and it took me so long to get a gout tuber that I ended up just completing all the outfits while I was... Oh, 1 second. Like I was saying, it took me so long to get the gout tubber that I ended up just completing all the outfits just for the heck of it. I don't know, I probably will never wear these as fashionscape, but at least I have them now, and I'm probably not going to run out of space regardless. So yeah, so I pretty much did a full clear of Taibawana cleanup, got some more stash units, and yeah, I think that covers... Oh, and I got the woodcutting level between Taibawana cleanup and also from filling the balloons. I unlocked the other balloon routes and filled up the entire log storage to 100 for all of them. So that's where I got that level as well. But yeah, so without further ado, I think it's time I should roll these chunks. So the first chunk here for 80 wood cutting is going to be... more Soul Wars. Not the one I want to see, or Isle of Souls, but I do need to get up to this cave. It will be helpful for Konar Slayer later on. So, you know, not the worst. Now the one for Ranger Boots, the one I did not expect to get, is... Oh, yes! Okay, this is another one of the chunks I really wanted to get. This is notable because, let me just check this down, I can finally spend my Marks of Grace. I can finally buy Graceful. But not only that, I can also get Rogue, which is another good armor set. I can get to Turiel here for Animal Magnetism. Actually, I still need the Mausoleum chunk because that's where the Crone is. But aside from that, you know, he's needed for a few quests here. A Tale of Two Cats also needed for that, which was, I don't know, it just unlocks a good few quests. Also does mean I can now use the minigame teleport up here. There's something else, Clue Steps, that's what I was trying to think of. So yeah, that's a really big one. So yeah, Unexpected Ranger Boots get me one of my most wanted chunks. And for the final chunk, for 80 magic, I get... Well, I have to say, these chunks are certainly not boring. It is nice to finally be able to come here to the Rogue's Den. Now I can trade this guy for lockpicks if I ever need another one, instead of having to run to the Anal Dungeon. And more importantly, I can come here and trade and get myself a Graceful set. Now, I don't actually know how much I'll be wearing it, but yeah, I probably will end up using it a lot. And I do have enough leftover marks that, I don't know, I could get another set or recolor it, but I want to hold off and see what I want to do with them, because ideally I would like to get more of the Graceful sets or more of the color options, but I want to see what I'll recolor this one into first. But there is Graceful robes for another chunk unlock. Let me just put that on real quick. And yeah, just to touch on, because I didn't say much, because, well, that clip was running very long and a lot was happening, but yeah, Wintertide is something I'll definitely want to do in the future to get Pyromancer for another chunk goal, and it also wouldn't be bad to get a Tome of Fire, but, well, we'll see how my luck goes with that, because I haven't had great love of Tomes of Fire in the past. But the chunk for Graceful is... Wow, these chunks really like Soul Wars, but hey, I'm really close to the dungeon now, and another good thing about rolling Soul or Isle of Soul chunks is that means I'm getting closer to not having to roll any more Isle of Soul chunks. So that's a benefit, in my eyes at least. But there is something else I want to work on. So, now that I have prayer potions, I think I'm ready to go back to the Forthos dungeon and try fighting that shaded beast again. Well, that wasn't too challenging. It cost me just over a prayer pot, one prayer pot and a dose, and I was able to defeat the shaded beast, which means I now have the temple coin. And with this, I can unlock the altar over there, and once I offer 200 bones to it, it will fix this altar and give me the temple key I need to more easily navigate this dungeon, which will be nice. And along the way, hopefully, oh darn, I have to go the long way around, or, I don't know, yeah, I think I do. Anyway, but hopefully along the way, I can also pick up the pages I need to finish In Search of Knowledge mini-quest, and maybe also get some grubby keys. After camping at Red Dragons for a while, I did manage to get the temple key, open up all the doors, and I managed to finish In Search of Knowledge, putting the experience onto Herblore, and having a decent bit of spare pages. Also, I did manage to snag a few grubby keys, opened a couple already, and have 3 spare, and there is also 60 prayer. So while I was here, I wanted to knock out that level, both because it does mean I get another prayer point per prayer potion, I think, and it's also a milestone, so I get another chunk unlock. So, yeah. But I'll open up these keys in a minute. I did get a little lucky on some of the stuff and got some 2 ranging and 2 defense potions. or the 2 doses from there, so now I have a full potion of each, which might come in handy in just a moment. But, yeah, but now I have 1 more chunk roll, and I get... Ooh, can I do the golem? I know this chunk's needed... Oh, I need the exam center. I thought it needed something like that. I was thinking it might have needed dig site. I'm like, no, I don't think it needs dig site. I don't think it needs dig site, but yeah, I need the chunk, not the quest. So, I don't know, it'll be nice in the future, though, because I don't think this does much for me now. There might be, like, a clue step or... Oh, actually, a couple clue steps, so that will be handy. Also, this is where I can do teak trees, even though I already have the hardwood grove. It still is nice to have other teak tree locations that don't require me grinding trading sticks every time. So, you know, that won't be terrible to have. But for now, there's one goal I want to work on. But first I need to clean up my looting bag and sort some things out. Because pretty much I want to clear out my inventory, clear out my looting bag, and try and get something special. I spent a while sorting my looting bag here, and as you might be able to guess by what I'm wearing and where I'm at, and also my inventory, that something special I want to go for is a fire cape. But there's a bit of good news and bad news. The bad news is, unfortunately, it's not going to be this episode. I'm recording this now on December 23rd, so, you know, a day before the episode goes up, and I've been meaning to try doing a fight cave attempt for the past few weeks, but between me just being busy with stuff and also the servers have been having some issues, I just wasn't able to fit it in, so it's gonna have to wait for next episode so this episode can go out on time. But the good news is, you can actually kind of, you know, rate my setup, let me know if you have any suggestions. So I'll just go over it real quick. Pretty much the main thing I'm actually worried about isn't so much the prayer. I did some calculations, and with my new level 70 or 60 prayer, not 70 yet, and with my prayer bonus here, it should be more than enough to last the entire fight caves, just keeping overheads up all the time. I think I've factored in doing like an hour or so, because I have a decent range level, my weapon's not bad, but I just don't have as good a stats. Like I don't have a blowpipe or other stuff, or a Slayer helm that would get those really fast times that I'm used to on a main anyway. So, yeah, but I also did look into it, and broad arrows really aren't that strong, only 28 range strength. So I did get some rune arrows from Last Man Standing, at least for Jad, probably also for the 360s, and that should speed things up considerably. But the thing I'm more worried about is actually healing, because I don't know if 11 sharks will be enough for the entire fight cave, because I might take some hits, and, you know, Void is not the most defensive. But, I don't know, this is what I'm planning to try, though, for my first attempt. I think it should work fine. It just depends on how well I play, which is, you know, it varies. And, yeah, I do have the range potion I got from the grubby chest, and also a super defense. Now, I was planning on bringing Excalibur here, and that's why I want Excalibur for the defense boost for fight caves, but super defense is better than Excalibur, so it makes more sense just to bring this, because I want it for when I have to pray magic but deal with the rangers. Or mainly those waves. That's when I'm probably going to take the most damage. Aside from that, the other thing to note is, I know I got Ranger Boost this episode, and I'm not bringing them, and that's because I think the +1 prayer on the Blessed Hide boots is worth more than the +1 range attack, just because I will have prayer up near all the time, and that +1 does, I think, factor in a bit more. So, I don't know, I might be wrong, but if you guys have any suggestions on what you think I should do for fight caves, or any feedback in general, just doing it on Ultimate Iron Man or a account like this, because I've only really done it on my main. I'm pretty confident I can do it on this, and I do have a lot of supplies. Like, I have more sharks here. If you're looking in the looting bag, I do have a good bit of prayer potions, even enough ranging and super defense for another full attempt, assuming I, you know, use the full potion. So I probably can do at least a few more attempts. So in the next episode, I will be trying to get a fire cape and probably succeeding. Like I said, I'm fairly confident, and if I do run into trouble, there are some upgrades I can get, like the glory as well. But yeah, the fire cape was that long-term cape slot in the other episode, so hopefully that goes well next episode. But for now, that's where I'm going to be ending off. No other chunk unlocks or anything. But, I don't know, this episode did unlock a lot of chunks. When I was editing back, I was kind of impressed at how much I actually did. I got the Grand Tree done, Camelot unlocked, Enlightened Journey in the Balloons, Berthorpe and Graceful, and also, you know, the Leaf Blade Sword, Ranger Boots, the Player-Owned House upgrades, and also AFKing my melee stats so high. So it's been a very productive episode, and I look forward to next episode and starting off with the Fire Cave. But for now, I'm going to wrap it up here. So hopefully you all enjoyed, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you next year, and goodbye.